Okay, so I apologize. I've done this talk a couple times, so I'm kind of going from memory, but kind of going from like what I found today too, because I think visuals are super important than just like me talking at you. And also the 15-year-old I was just mentioning has been homesick the past 2 days. And so taking care of that and trying to put everything together, plus, we're all getting those Christmas orders that are, last minute and, getting stuff out. So this is kind of thrown together. But like I said, I've done this talk many, many times before because I swear by Amy. I've actually given this speech at Reunion and at World Tour too. So it's like, okay, I kind of know what I'm talking about. But I did want to share some visuals with you guys just because it's hard to share visuals on Amy. But there's this one site that I absolutely love that talks about the statistics of following up. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to talk about why to follow up first and why it's so important. And then we'll head into the different systems you can use. So you will hear every leader pretty much say that the fortune is in the follow-up because it's absolutely true. If you hook someone one time, they are that much more likely to purchase. However, it might not be in the timeline that you think it should be. And what I mean by that is like, you're not going to send out one email, two emails, a couple text messages, and they're going to buy right away. It might take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my screen here. And what it is a site that I've used before. I found it, gosh, I found this a couple years ago, and they've updated the graphics because I love what they've done. But I'm going to read it first and then I'll show you through the graphics what they're talking about. But it just makes so much sense. And when you see these numbers, it's going to blow your flipping mind. So this is the power of follow-ups, and it looks like they updated this July 30th of 2020. And this is IRC Sales Solutions. I don't know if this is in Canada, but I can send you guys the link if you want to share this with teams or members who are not on the call tonight. So I'm just going to read verbatim because honestly, their words are gold here. When it comes to sales, oops, somebody's unmuted. I'm going to go through and ask everybody to mute, please, if possible. I'm going to check and just see. Looks like everybody is. Okay. So when it comes to sales, it's all about the follow-up. So on average, only 2% of sales are made during the first point of contact. What that means is the person sees you and says, hey, I want to buy some Scentsy. Boom. That's first point of contact. They come to you basically, or you ask once and they say, yep, I'm in, let's do this. That means if you don't follow up, even with a simple follow-up email, you're missing out on potentially 98% of your sales. 98, guys. Okay. Unfortunately, due to fear of rejection and difficult or no sales process or a lack of sales automation, most salespeople never follow up with prospects, which is a huge mistake, you guys. When emails or phone calls are ignored, 44% of salespeople will give up after just one attempt. And only 8% of salespeople follow up more than 5 times. There are a number of sales follow-up statistics that back up the fact that following up with your prospects should be integrated into your sales process regarding your sales methodology. Most notable is the fact that any given time, only 3% of your active market is actively buying. 56 are not ready, and 40% are poised to begin. Okay, so that means sharing because they're watching you. Okay, so here's the graphics that I wanted to show you guys because this to me was super powerful, and honestly, there's nothing I could create that looked this good. So what do you do after reaching out to a prospect for the first time? If you're not following up, then by almost every measure, you are leaving money on the table. I'm going to repeat that. You are leaving money on the table. So not following up can cost you 2% of sales made per contact, 3% of sales are made on the second contact, 5% for the third, 10% for the fourth contact. And look at this, guys, 80% you have to contact them 5 to 12 times. Okay, because they've got stuff going on. People have things happening in their lives. They, they're buying Christmas presents, and yeah, they might want some Scentsy for themselves, but it's on the back burner. That doesn't mean that you stop contacting them, because if they've bought from you before, there's a really good chance that they'll buy from you again. Now, I don't mean go ahead and be super spammy and be contacting them every day. Absolutely not. But you need to be touching base with people. And we'll talk about how you do that in a little bit. So unfortunately, most salespeople give up after just that one attempt. After that first text, that first email, that first phone call, they are just like, oh, they ignored me. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out. What a waste. Okay. 8% of salespeople will contact in this 5 and on. And that is where the money is, you guys. Being persistent, being consistent in your follow-ups, and really reaching those customers is where the money is. You don't want to give up here, because honestly, if you've ever seen that graphic where it shows two guys, one on top and one on the bottom, and they're both digging through the rock to get to the jewels, and one guy stops right before he hits them. Okay. So you don't want to be stopping when you have this out there on the table for yourselves. Okay. This doesn't align well with the fact that most of your potential customers probably aren't ready to buy yet. So when we've said before, when we talk about people and they say no, it doesn't always mean no forever. It just means no for right now. They might have stuff going on. They might be full up on Scentsy, especially if they've been buying a lot lately. They might just need a little break. And that's totally fine. That doesn't mean you stop contacting them. That doesn't mean you stop sharing with them. It just means that they're not ready yet, but they still like seeing your stuff. So this little graphic, I love this. I'm sorry, I'm just not ready yet to buy. At any given time, only 3% of your market is actively buying. 3%. So there's 97 people out there that are not ready and are poised to begin, that are watching, but they just haven't found something yet that is like sparking that impulse to jump on it. Okay. By following up, you're there when your prospects are ready. Okay. So speed is of the essence. If you follow up with a lead within 5 minutes, you're 9 times more likely to convert them. And 30 to 50% of sales go to the vendor that responds first. So this means when someone is posting on those pages saying, hey, I'm looking for a Scentsy consultant, or hey, you get an email, a contact request in your email box. You want to respond to that right away, because they could be emailing 5, 6, 7 other consultants and the first one's going to get it. So even if you're the 7th, 8th, 12th consultant that has been posted on one of those posts, hey, I'm looking for a Scentsy consultant, I always still email, I always still will Facebook message them and say, hey, my name is Molly. I'm a Scentsy consultant. I'd love to be able to help you, but if you already found someone from the ones shared above, that's great. Totally fine. I just wanted to check in and make sure you found someone to help you with your Scentsy needs. When you put it in their court and you say, you just want to help them out and don't make it seem like you're grabby for sales or you're desperate, that's going to make you look a lot better, even if they did find somebody else. If they didn't, then hey, they'll be so excited that you actually reached out to them, and they'll be excited to work with you because you want to help them. So how do you follow up? For the first try to win the follow-up battle before it begins by scheduling the next call. So I don't call people. All right. So this kind of doesn't fit in right with what we're talking about. So I'm going to go back here, because this is kind of getting into systems here, and I'm going to talk systems in a different way. How I follow up with my customers. I'll start this out by saying tomorrow is my 9-year anniversary with Scentsy. For the first 4 years, I didn't follow up because I didn't have a good system in place. I would try something, it didn't work. I would try, writing them down. Some people can swear by their pen and paper systems, and that's fantastic. If you found a system that works well for you, keep doing it. For me, nothing worked for me until Amy came along, because for me, I hate seeing those little like icons on my iPhone screen that says, you have like 7 updates in my Amy, or I've got, the little red thing that says how many emails you have or whatever. It drives me bananas. So the fact that A, it does that, and B, I can either text or email my customers from Amy and not call them because I don't like talking on the phone. Like my sister will call me and I'll ignore it. And then I'll text her back like 30 minutes later and be like, oh yeah, I called, just saw you called. What's up? I avoid talking on the phone like the absolute plague. And my best friend does it too. So she knows if I'm calling her that there's something I have to tell her that takes a lot more than texting can do. But even then, I usually just voice message her. Anyway, so the nice part about Amy is so you can try it free if you are a brand new consultant or you've never tried it before. You just go online. It takes 5 minutes to set up. And what it does is when you're on the paid version or the pro version, it hooks up right to your Scentsy account. So what I mean by that, when a customer buys from my site or I put an order in and the next day I get an alert on there saying that I need to text, call, whatever my preferred, type of contact, that person the next day and thank them for their order. Now, the nice part about Amy too is the templates, you can write out your own template so that it sounds like you. So you're not just saying, hey, thank you for your order, blah, 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 blah. I have it set where when I say thank you for my order, I'm just going to read it out to you guys because I think that having an idea of what other people have out there is super important and impactful. But I don't want you to just copy verbatim what I have because that sounds like me. It might not sound like you. So when I thank a customer for an order, I say hi, and then what it does is, I don't know if you can see that, but it says hi first name. So it will automatically put that first person's name in there. So when I go through and I'm doing my thank yous, all I have to do is hit text. This text will pop up, and then all I do is hit send. That's how easy my follow-ups are. Boom, bam. And the nice part about it is it says, thank you for your recent order. I really hope you love your products, in parentheses. So Amy will automatically input some of what they bought in there. So it looks like I took my time and looked over their order and I'm thanking them for specific things they bought, which makes it more personal, but I didn't. It's all automated. It's all done by this little robot in my phone. It's amazing. So I say, let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for your support of my family business during this difficult time for us small business owners. It means so much more than you know. And then I have my name, and usually I change out my little, I love using emojis. So there's a little snowman right now, in the summertime, I'll put a sun or flowers or whatever, and you can change it up. In the fall, I'll put leaves. Anyway, so that automatically will go out to my customers. So I automatically send that out. I get the little, well, here, let me show you. I get the little, you'll see it here that I have one that I have to do. Where's my finger? One that has to go out here. Yeah. And that's only because I have to do something with it. But it'll say, okay, you have 8 of these to do today. And then I send that out. In 2 weeks, it'll remind me and say, hey, you want to check in with these people and make sure that they're liking their order. So by that time, their order has been delivered to them right from Scentsy, or I should have gotten their order, got my crap together, made it pretty, and dropped it off at their house or with their hostess. So they should have it by that 2-week time. And then as soon as they have it in their hot little hands, hopefully they're opening it. So 2 weeks later, it's checking in and saying, hey, I want to make sure you received your products, and it has the little, it'll throw some other ones in there. And then I say, and anything else, any other products you may have purchased, I hope you're absolutely loving what you got, so that way it opens it up for them to repeat back to me and say, hey, yeah, I really love this. The thing I hear most is like people will try our clean products or our laundry products and realize how amazing they are. And they'll be like, oh my God, I should have tried this sooner. Yeah, I know. That's what I've been telling you. But anyway, I digress. So then it reaches out to them and just is touching them again and saying, hey, I hope you're loving absolutely everything. I just want to make sure, everything's good. And that too gives them an opportunity to let me know, hey, something didn't come right, something didn't, broke. Because there's customers out there that are like, oh, I bought this from someone and it didn't work from the beginning and I just didn't know who to talk to. It's like, This gives them an opportunity to let me know that something's not right so I can make it right. Because again, by doing something like that, you're really going to get that repeat business because people are actually going to want to come back to someone who took care of a problem for them. Okay, so this is what I have. So after 2 months, it'll automatically have you contact again for 3 months. And this is just a little touch base too. Again, it says hi and says the name. And it says, I just want to check in to make sure you're loving your purchases and see if you need any refills. You know, it's saying, oh, hey, that's right. I did use up all that bar that I really, really loved and I want some more of it. Or, hey, I used up all that, oil or insert here, whatever the product is. And then I throw in a little blurb, usually that has to do with something that's happening that month. I changed this monthly so that way it doesn't become stale. It doesn't become the same message over and over and over again, because I want them to be getting new ideas. So right now it says it's that time of year to start your holiday gift shopping. And I'm just saying, everyone loves Scentsy. We have gifts for him, her, littles, and even your pets. Just click this link to get your list done in a cinch, and then it will put in there, you can add that Amy will throw your link to shop right in there. So again, you don't have to type anything out. You don't have to do anything. Boom, done. And then I say again, thank you for always supporting my family business. It means the world to us. And then at the bottom, underneath my name, I always put, ask me how you can join Scentsy free. Boom, because you're throwing in a little join thing in there. And I was bad consultant this past month. I should have added something about Scentsy Club like Lisa Rowberry taught us last time. And I'm going to update that now tomorrow that I've thought about it. But yeah, so right now, this is what I have in there. So this is a really Amy makes it super, super simple to reach out to your customers, to touch them, to say, here's what's going on, here's what's happening. Another way to keep a follow-up without it feeling like following up is having them in your VIP group, having them on your Facebook. Every Facebook party I have, I add everyone. If they want to be added to my page, I add everybody, whether or not they accept my friend request or not. I use my Facebook solely for business. I mean, I post like family stuff because it's fun to see it, later on, but mine is basically super business friendly because I want people to be seeing what I'm posting. So I post stuff about my life, but then I'm also posting stuff about Scentsy because that is a way to touch them for following up so that they're seeing stuff. And if they're poised to buy, something might throw them over the edge, like our awesome Disney products, like our holiday products we have going on right now, letting them be aware of what's out there. All of this is an important part of follow-up. Another just a little sidebar before we get back into following up, you can reach out to your team. So Amy will remind you, it actually just reminded me today, hey, it's, the first week of the month, you should reach out and message your downline and let them, just check in, see how things are going and see if they need any help. So you can change that every month on what you want it to look like, but it prompts you to touch them, the beginning, the mid, this sounds bad, sorry, touch. It prompts you to like poke them, I guess. Let's go with poke them the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month. So that way you aren't, on them all the time. And quite honestly, I reach out once a month. And my team pretty much knows that if they need me, I'm right here. But I don't want to be one of those ones that's like constantly making them feel like they have to be all the time. I want them to know that I'm here if need be. But the great part about Amy is that it will reach out. It will tell you to reach out with them. So that's what I absolutely love. It will, if you have your customers' birthdays in there, it'll have you say, hey, it's time for this person's birthday, you need to reach out. You can log your samples in there. So if you hand out samples to people and collect their contact information, it'll prompt you to, a few days later, hey, did you try out that sample? What did you think? Do you love it? There's so many different things inside Amy that I could talk forever about it because it's an amazing product that Scentsy has partnered with us. And there's even a whole Facebook group just for Scentsy consultants. and Amy. So if you want to be added to that group, let me know and I will help you get in touch with that group, because they're always adding things. They're always asking our opinions to see how they can make it better. So that's one thing I absolutely love about it. The other thing I do for follow-ups is mail. Now, I am not one of those people that likes to spend a lot of money on mail. I don't feel like I get a huge ROI on it, except for when I do my follow-ups from an order. So whoever orders from me online always gets a letter in the mail. Okay, so it's just a regular envelope. I've been toying with the idea of switching to something like this, where it's a little more see-through and people can see what, my friend is getting in the mail and, be a little jealous of what's in the little package here. But right now I'm still just doing an envelope, and everyone always gets a scent circle from me. If I don't have scent circles, I will mail a whole bunch of little flat samples. I know we should probably touch on sample making again, but anyway, I do a scent circle, or I make my flat little samples, and I can put 2 or 3 in there and they stay nice and flat for my customers as a little thank you. And also, you never know, the scent that they get, they might absolutely fall in love with, and they'll do a repeat order right on the spot because they smelled that and they're like, holy man, I need all of that. It's happened when I've sent out vanilla mint in my samples before. People went crazy for it, and I got a lot of repeat business on that. And then I also send out a little, where's my little guy? Where are you? Oh, I just had them out. Where in the Sam? I was doing mail today. They should be still up here. Where did I put them? Oh, they're there. So I make little rack cards that say thank you. Okay. So it's just a little card with pictures of my family, pictures of me, my kids, my Scentsy team, Scentsy friends. But I also have a QR code to bring them to my Facebook VIP page so they can automatically join. I also have a QR code to go to the website and start shopping again if they want to start shopping. But this goes in every single one of them. And just a little handwritten message on the back. Thanks again, for your order. This is the only mail I ever send out, unless I'm mailing samples out, unless I say, hey, sample of the month, who wants it? But for following up, that's the only mail I send. If they order from me and it is being handed to a hostess, they will get this. And I always put, I always put a flyer for the warmer of the month in there too. So they always get these in their bags, but I usually will throw other samples in there just because I like to keep my scent circles for mailing, just because they're so nice and flat. They're so easy. Other people will get, like I make these little samples of counter clean. I have little bottles of counter clean. I'll give little bottles of laundry liquid or little baggies of washer whiffs, mostly products that aren't wax, aren't something that they've tried before. I really want to give them something that is brand new, that they're going to be super excited about. I ordered a bunch of pet samples, and I think I'm going to start making my own because they're just so much cheaper. Just little stuff to say thank you for their order, show them that I appreciate it. The nice part about sending these is they're paying $68 in shipping. So giving them one little one of these when I can usually get them free, or at least a 6-pack of them half priced, is more than worth the price of admission for them ordering online. And I found once I started doing this, I really saw a return of investment. A lot of people started buying more from me online, and being super appreciative of getting these, because it's just something a little extra that goes a long way. So that's kind of what I do. Brandy or Allison, do you guys have anything you'd like to add about the follow-ups that you do?
I do pretty much the same thing that you do. I just use a 3-3-3 system instead. So 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So I find when you're doing follow-ups, it's whatever works for you and your customers. Like you're going to know how frequent your customers are shopping, and what the pattern of time works best for you. Um, touching on like the sample things, no, like everybody loves getting free stuff. So I'm along with Molly. I always, anybody that orders from my website, I always give them Happy Mail, and I just use a like a legal envelope, one stamp, flyer of the month, sample of the month. If they spend over $40, I give them a scent circle. If they don't, I don't bother. Um, but again, it's whatever fits in your budget. A really cool sample that I just was able to put together. I thought it was super cool. I paid $20 for, I think it was 20 little bottles, like little squeeze bottles or whatever. And I made a post on Facebook and said, is there any local dog breeders out there? I got a few comments, seen a bunch of people that had puppies recently, reached out to them because a lot of people give out like little doggy bags when they send out their puppies home, and made a cute label on Avery Label of the Bud Suds. And I've already had 3 people place orders on my website. So like, and it's only for dog products because nobody knows that we have that. So when you're sending out your Happy Mail, make sure you're sending something in that Happy Mail that not a lot of people know. And you don't have to make it fancy, guys. Like you do need to go to the consultant store and spend on those fancy flyers and stuff. Like, sure, if you've got the extra moolah and you want to spend it, by all means, go nuts. But you can search our groups, not just like the Together We're Better, Mighty Goal Getters, but like other groups that you're in under files. And there is people that they like eat, sleep, live, breathe by flyers. And there's some super spectacular stuff in there. So you can just print them out on your own leisure time and shove them in some Happy Mail. You'd be surprised what comes of it. So, Allison, what you got, girl?
Okay, so I mean, so I've been using Amy for a really long time, or like I bet you over 5 years. And I've changed things up over time, a little bit here and there. I used to send everyone a letter when they bought on my PWS, but then when I got selling quite a bit, it got like $500 a month in stamps. So I pulled back, but I've now gone back to it, funny enough, because I used to send out a magnet. And yes, I think it's like 20 cents a magnet. But honestly, I would send a product sheet with one of my magnets. And I haven't sent magnets in 3 years. And I still have customers reach out that come through Scentsy.com that are like, hey, I still had your magnet on the fridge. So I'm going back to magnets just starting in the new year because I think it really was worth the bang for my buck sending out those magnets. As far as my Amy goes, mine's more formal, and I'll be honest, like I don't change it that often. But I didn't even write this. I got it off someone's blog that had written it, and it said like, thank you, the person's name for your recent Scentsy order. I really appreciate your business. I want you to know Scentsy is taking every precaution when packing up your orders. We have made changes to protect our warehouse workers, spreading out our shipping processes. We are doing everything in our power to keep everyone safe. You should have received, this is where I had to add this in because I kept getting people messaging me saying, hey, do I get a tracking number? And I used to have to answer all these people. So I added in saying, you should have received an email confirming your order. You will receive another email once the order is ready to ship with attached track information. Then I get a lot of people reach out and say, I hit the tracking and there's no information. Well, when they first get emailed that tracking number, there isn't any information because the company hasn't gone and picked up the order from the warehouse yet. We've just printed it off. So then I added in a section saying, if you first try tracking the package, it may say no information because the courier company has not yet picked it up and scanned it into their system. If you wait and try in 24 hours, the information will be there. Thank you for your patience as orders may take longer as we are approaching our busiest holiday season. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. But here's something amazing I wanted to share with you guys. Since Molly did the training with us on Scentsy Club. Never in all this time did I add Scentsy Club to my Amy, and I added it the night of the Scentsy Club training while she was doing the training. And I've had over 10 people join my Scentsy Club since then. And they're all like, and I don't know how many, like they always say thank you when I send an Amy, a lot of them. And I don't know how many reached out and said, hey, thanks for your response. I noticed the information about the Scentsy Club. I'm going to go check it out. And I think, wow, why didn't I add that so long ago? Like that was money adding that to my Amy, because people take the time and so here's the spiel I wrote that I just wrote up for the Scentsy Club. Hold on a minute. I just wrote saying, do you have a favorite Scentsy wax bar that was an LTO limited time offering like our holiday bricks or scent of the season collection, or inspired by one of our trademark companies like Disney, Marvel, Warner Brothers? Just a favorite, or just a favorite fall, winter, or spring, summer fragrance leaves every season and may not return? Get your bar forever with our Scentsy Club auto ship program. And then I just went on to explain like the skinny on it. And yeah, I'm getting crazy response.
I know,
Crazy.
isn't that bananas? Like,
Yes,
it
I
seems
think-
like such a like duh. Like
I know.
we should have been doing this to begin with. But like when she said that, I was
Ridiculous.
like, I never thought. Why did I never think of that?
I know I didn't. I never like I did posts about Scentsy Club and I've put it in my mailers, but I don't know why I just never thought to add it on there. And now that I have, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do that a long time ago? But having your friend do that training, it was like an aha moment. Like, hello.
Oh, I know.
Well,
She's a sense.
Allison, do you
Club
want to share that
genius.
verbiage?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be
Like,
awesome. In the
Yeah, I'll
sharing
copy
this
and paste
together, we
it,
better-
and I'll copy and paste it and put it. I'll copy and paste both the verbiage, because I'll be honest. I mean, I wrote the Scentsy Club, but that one some girl posted it on one of the director groups about her Amy, and it was written so beautifully right when COVID happened that I was like, damn, and I just copy and used it.
That's awesome.
But it was great. Because again, people were worried, we've been into COVID a while now, but when it first happened, I'm worried about ordering stuff and having it shipped. You know what I mean? Like, plus things we were getting in the hang of all the different changes. So warehouse was taking a little longer at that time during shipping. So I've thought about changing it, but honestly, I still feel like we're in that space. So I still haven't changed it yet. I've left it and, but I don't.
I'm sure your customers really appreciate that, quite honestly. I mean, and as things start to flare up even worse again, I don't know how it is up there, but it's getting bad again here. People appreciate that since he's taking the time and taking the efforts to, keep everyone safe.
For sure. I will send scent circles out, but I only send them if they spend over $100. Again, I think as your business gets bigger, some things when I was really little, I did way more, but as you get more and more orders on PWS, I find some things I had to change because you just can't make it duplicable when you start having larger volume. And I've even spoke to a couple girls that sell way more than I do online, and they don't even send mailers anymore because they just couldn't stay on top of it. Like Jennifer Hong. You know who that is?
Oh, I know who Jennifer Hong is.
Her and said like, hey, like you sell a lot online. Like, do you still send stuff out? And she was like, no. She's like, I just couldn't keep up with the volume. She goes, so I don't anymore. She would just send Scentsy Club people stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back and start. So now I'm sort of going back into where my business was back before. And now I'm going to start sending out mailers again, but just to new customers, not my usual customers. I mean, some of my usual customers, I send out a book and that like at the beginning of each season, but I'm going to start sending new customers those magnets again, because I really think that they were a nice touch. And it's like a business card you're sending them really, but it's a magnet and people like magnets.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just got
and
all
they put
mine
it on the fridge and forget about it.
Yeah, I
until they
used
need it.
Vistaprint for my magnets.
I
Yep.
did calendars, like I do them every year for New Year's Eve for the new year. And it's like my picture on the top. And then it says, thanks for supporting my business, then the year, and then all my contact information. And people have really liked those because not only is your information on there, and they can always contact you. But they love having that like calendar rate stuck on the fridge.
Is it really expensive?
I can't remember how much I paid, but I normally just do it on like save 50% off weekend, or like Vistaprint will have like a 60% off or something like that. And I never buy anything full price on
No,
Vistaprint.
either. That's when I did the magnets. I wait till they have a sale to get them. And then again, it's like with Vista, the more you buy, the cheaper they are, right? So then I splurge and buy like a big whack.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions about following up Amy, any of our systems? Feel free to ask anything. Brandy, is yours pen and paper then? Or like, do you do it like Microsoft Outlook or Google Sheets or?
I use Amy.
Okay.
But I also use my own like kind of little paper system. I don't know, I'm a weirdo. Like I'm a total pen and paper type girl, and I'm really trying to get more digital because my husband is so sick of just finding random like notebooks everywhere, and he's like, what is this? And I'm like, it's my Scentsy book, like leave it alone. He's like, you have 55 Scentsy books, like you could open a library with all your books. And I'm like, yeah. So like one day I did take like 3 hours and wrote down like all my notes, and then I was like, what am I going to do with these? Print them off and put them in a book? Like it was like they're going to go back in a book. Like there was no point. So
I have so
My
many
desk is piled high with books
notebooks
and papers. And
sitting
yeah, like,
everywhere of like, you know, the world tour notebooks that I took notes in, and like, oh, I might want to go back and look at these at some point. Or, you know, when we go to leadership, they give us those nice leather bound ones. I love those ones. And those ones I have sitting over there for like special, but those are all just like notes from trainings because, you know, yeah. I got to keep my notes everywhere.
I find like us Scentsy peeps, we are like note taker pack rats. Like all of us, we're just like we see something and we're like, oh, like it, copy, paste, put it in the notes, add this picture. Like it's hilarious. I don't know about you guys, but like if you looked at my phone right now, like if I opened up my images, let's say 100 images were on my phone, 89 of them would be Scentsy stuff, and the rest would be like my kids.
Yep.
Oh,
same.
Yeah, I screenshot everything.
same.
Yeah.
You get like, is anybody using a system right now that they're able to like really keep the photos organized anyhow?
So so my phone's full of photos, but I try to stick them in albums. So even though when you go through photos, they're all there, I will put like all my Scentsy in an album, and like I have like all my family pictures in an album, all my cat pictures in an album, you know?
I
How
have
do you
mine
do
set up
that?
a little bit like that on Google Photos.
So, I mean, I have an Apple phone. So when you just go into your photos, there's a spot where you can hit albums and make different albums. So then, and the only reason it's quick is, let's say I want to find something Scentsy and I don't want to scroll through all my pictures. Then I just hit the Scentsy album, and then I know it's at least Scentsy. Plus, then I'll go back in the Scentsy album and I'll start deleting stuff that's like, we're not getting back, or that's like old.
Oh my God, I just found out how to do that. You've just changed my life.
I haven't been doing that long either. I even have like one, because I changed my hair so much. I have a hair album with all my hair pictures, so I can pull it up to decide what color I want next.
Oh, I love you so much.
Awesome.
I should do that.
Yeah, you and Allison are like the
hair besties.
queens.
Yeah, I like my different colors.
I love it.
Well, as you can tell, I go all out crazy colors.
Yeah, me too.
And my most recent was supposed to be green and purple. I'm now green, pink, blue, purple, yellow from 2 colors. So it's interesting.
I love it.
It's a disaster, but it's interesting.
What else is anybody using, like app wise? Or
Carrie's saying she has her albums broke up into flyers, scents, BBMB, shopping flyers, holiday. That's so smart.
Awesome. That's super smart.
You're so organized.
Yeah, that's
need
the
to
good
do
idea,
that.
Carrie.
I just don't have the time.
I'm making time right now as we speak. I'm
Like
like,
mine
I
is
need to do
separated
that.
from like family life stuff and Scentsy, but not breaking down the Scentsy.
oh wow, I just got rid of like 400 pictures. Oh, but they don't delete them. Okay, so you can add them to the album, but then to get them out of your main album, you have to delete them.
But be careful, it might actually delete
It
them.
might delete it out of your album too.
Yeah. But it
Oh,
makes it easier for
God.
locating your flyers if you have them in separate albums.
I'm gonna look back here now and see. Um,
Okay, any other questions? Any other issues anyone wants to chat about, or?
it does delete them, PS. It does delete them out of the secondary album. FYI. Okay. Sorry.
All right, well then I think we're done for the night. Nice and early, we can all go to bed.
I am definitely, the melatonin is definitely hitting me like a ton of bricks.
I'm gonna be putting my kid to bed and then following shortly after, so. Thank you all for coming in.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just have one Amy question. Is there any way to pre-populate what goes on the subject line yet? Like to put thank you or checking in, or no, you have to fill in each one?
you still, if you're sending emails, yeah, you still have to do it individually.
Okay.
That's why I like texting, because it's just boop, 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 done.
Why do you
But
text them?
I text everybody.
Oh, I email everybody.
No, I text them because they're more likely to see that.
So you can on Amy text?
Oh, heck yeah. If
Oh
you have
my
your
God,
phone
it's
number in there,
At the top.
Once I start to learn something, I just learn it and be done with it. Do you know that you just taught me? I didn't even know I could put products and it would show what products. I just added that. I didn't even know.
and you don't even have to do anything fancy. Like, you just, as you're building your message, you scroll down and you'll see, would you like to add a product thing here? Would you like to add your link here? Would you like to add this here? It's like so stupid easy.
Wow.
Do you think
Okay.
we
And so
should do you think we should do another night on actually how to use Amy, where you could pull and like how to make those adjustments? Because I literally have no idea how to make those
I would
adjustments.
appreciate that as well.
Yeah,
Good
I
idea.
can see. Let me see.
Like,
There might
Amy
already be
something-
videos of how to
Okay.
do this in that group I was talking to you about.
Okay.
And they might be able to show it a lot better than I can. So let me find some videos and I will post them in the comments of this, because that's going to
Okay.
really help to like show you exactly, because what they do is they like hook the video onto their phone, and I don't know how to do that. I'm not that tech savvy.
Yeah,
When you're
like
And
brand
so-
new, they do have like training information on that if you actually go through the trainings that Amy offers when you first sign up, for anyone who's brand new.
But
And
they
is
also
that
have the
something
Facebook
that you
group.
can use on your desktop or only mobile? Because I've only
It's
ever tried
mobile only.
mobile only.
You can do it on your desktop, but there's not as many options.
No.
It's a lot harder to like work through. I don't like it. It's 1000% meant to be used on your phone.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say I've only ever used it on my phone, so
That's
I didn't know.
the way to do it. So yes, I will find those videos and I will post them in the comments, because like I said, they're gonna be able to explain it a lot better and it'll look prettier than what I'm gonna try to do. But I will definitely add them in the Together We're Better. And then if you want to share them on the recording
Yeah.
of this in your page.
Absolutely.
thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's so amazing, like all the things, and they keep adding more. It's bananas. So yeah, I love it. I saved my business, honestly. This is the best in the US. It's I think it's $7.99 a month. Best $7 I spend every single month, hands down. Because it honestly, it makes me back more than that, 1000%. So yeah, totally worth it.
Well, and it just
Totally.
makes you like keep more in touch with your customers. Like, regardless if it like obviously it's gonna bring you back money, but like let's say it doesn't get you reoccurring sales right away. You're building those relationships, which is building the trust with your customers that are planting the seeds that later on it is going to pay you back tenfold.
Because remember, they're not going to buy within those first 4 points of contact. It's 5 or more. So yeah, it's not
Like a lot
immediate,
of people,
but it's absolutely always worth it.
like there is a lot of people that, yeah, they make money right away in this business, and you know, they hit the ground running and it's great to go. But like, there's some people that have to work a little bit harder in this business, and that's okay. Like, hard work is where it's going to pay off, and that is where your business is going to be sustainable. Like, if you think you're just going to sign up for Scentsy and make $1 million, like, hey, you have a better chance of winning the lottery. Go buy a Powerball ticket, but this is going to pay you back long run as long as you are putting the work into it.
And being consistent with it as well, because I always like to tell my newbies, once you hit the 3-month mark, you usually hit a wall, and that's where being consistent and following up with customers is going to absolutely help you get over that hump. Because you can either hit that wall and just be like, oh, it's getting too hard, I give up, or you can keep pushing through it, and that's where you find out what you're made of and what you really want.
I totally agree with you, Molly.
Hard facts to say, but true. It's not always fun to hear that it's hard work, but it's always worth it, you guys.
Yeah.
But the hard work is so rewarding. Like, you can, like, Molly's 9 years tomorrow. You can sit back tomorrow and like think of all the time that you've had a struggle that you could have thrown in the towel and been like, I'm done, I'm over it. But like 9 years, and you can now sit back and be like, look at my life. I'm so happy, and I love my Scentsy family.
Like, I was telling Brandy the other day, I got my first random PWS order from someone I don't know, which was a friend of somebody who's a customer, and they ordered like $200 out of nowhere because I'm so good with the one customer. So
yeah, like, it just goes to show, like, follow-ups, like, it's everything, and it's all about business building. Like, well, you know, for instance, like, let's talk about a real estate agent for instance. Like, if you live in a small city like Kingston or anywhere in the world, XYZ, you all know that one bad realtor that like nobody wants to use Joe Blow because he's terrible. But then you know that other realtor that everybody uses because they are like the best in the business, and you know, you get treated like gold. Well, that's the way we have to look at it. We want to put our best self forward so that everybody looks at it and goes, wow, I want to buy from them because they speak to me. Like, their customer service, they're like showing the product, knowledge of the product is what people love. And you want people to talk good about you, to spread that word to other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the number one reason why I do the thank you cards after an order, because I have gotten people that have switched to me. They've bought from someone religiously, but they never heard a thank you. They never got, that validation. And because I have sent a thank you card and show how important their order meant to me, they're like, done. I'm coming to you because you actually made me feel good about, my purchase, and made me feel like I wasn't just a number, whatever. People love that. They love that. So it goes a long way.
Absolutely.
All right. It is bedtime, girls. Go to sleep. I'm looking at you. I'm pointing at you, Brandy. I don't know.
I know you're right beside me too. I know. I'm like, right. I'm a zombie today. It's fine. I'm like, oh, this is going to be on YouTube. I look like this.
Nobody. Really, we're the only ones that go back and rewatch it anyway. So yeah, I don't care. This is what I look like in real life. I never wear makeup. I wash my face, and that's the way I live my life. So
yeah, messy hair, don't care. This is the real life. This is the real housewives of Scentsy.
Oh my God, if that were only a show.
We should make it one.
Shut.
It would be
All
hilarious.
right, ladies. Good night. We will see you next week with Brandy's special guest speaker. She's going to talk to us about vision boards and setting goals for the future. And I'm so excited about it.
I know it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
All
Gonna
right,
blow
we'll see y'all
everybody's
next
minds.
week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.